Today I want to tell you a little bit about Mary Kay's brand new brush set. We have redesigned all of our brushes, and what's great is that nothing else has really changed besides the brushes. So it's the same price, the same amount of brushes as it was before, but they are now redesigned to be able to use them in different ways and use like one brush for a few different things. I'm just really excited about them, and I wanted to make a video today to tell you how I achieved this look, walking you through all of our new brushes and how I did that. Because some of them I still have similar uses like the other ones did, but because we've redesigned them, I want to explain to you a little bit about how to use them. So first and foremost, they are still $55 for 5 brushes, which is a steal. Like, that's an amazing deal. So 5 brushes for $55. And we come in this case. It's like a black, it says Mary Kay on it. It's super cute. So this looks a little bit different than the other one, but I like it a lot. It has some little pouches to hold all of your brushes. Really easy to pack up and take anywhere. So that's a little bit different. And the 5 brushes that this brush set comes with are all over powder brush. Now, excuse the fact that these have makeup on them. I literally just finished making or doing my makeup, and I was so excited to come and do this video that I just took my own brushes. So all over powder brush, the cheek brush, and then eye brushes. So we have the all over eye color brush, the crease brush, and the eye smudger brush. These are the 5 brushes that come in the brush set. Now, we do have 4 other brushes that I am going to talk about as well that I use today, but I want you to know which ones come in the brush set. Okay, so the first thing I did today was I put on my foundation primer, and then I used Mary Kay's Matte Wear Liquid Foundation, and I used our brand new liquid foundation brush. I'm obsessed with this thing. It is my favorite brush, hands down, of the ones that have just been created. All of these brushes are super soft, and they are all synthetic, which means that they can be used for both mineral powders or eyeshadows, but also cream. So cream eyeshadows, liquid foundations, liquid, like they can be used for both essentially. So you can use this with your liquid foundation, and you could actually put the liquid foundation onto the brush if you wanted to, and then put it on. I actually put it on my hand and then did it this way, but this brush is shaped differently. Do you guys see that? How it goes on an incline. These brushes here are a little bit tighter together than these ones up here. So you want to apply the liquid foundation on this side of the brush. So you'll see it too, it kind of like goes up a little bit. So this bottom part right here, the bottom of that angle, is where you want to apply it first. So that's where you put it to all of the parts of your face that need the most foundation, which is usually like cheeks, forehead, and chin. And then you can either use this to stipple, which is when you dab your makeup in, or you can use it and focus a little bit more on the top part of that angle to buff, which means to go in circles all over. And that's going to help to spread out the foundation. I'm obsessed with this thing. It's so amazing. I'm so glad they came out with it. So that's a liquid foundation brush, okay? When I was done with my liquid foundation, I put on concealer and under eye corrector. So our concealer comes in a wand, so I just kind of put it on anywhere I needed and did some stippling with my finger. But I have dark circles, and so a great way to combat dark circles is to combine our under eye corrector and our concealer. So what I did was they're both in a wand formula, so I would take the wand and I would do one swipe on my hand, and then I would use our cream color brush. Okay, this could be used for like cream eyeshadow or for concealer. So this is the one that I chose to use for concealers. So what I would do is I would take this end and I would mix together the under eye corrector and the concealer and then make sure I get it all off. Then I would take this and take it onto my brush, and I actually go in a line straight down and then a diagonal line like that. And I'm going to be patting that in because you want to make sure it's covering the dark circles. And to be honest, the dark circles are right here, right? They're not like over here or anything like that. You'd be surprised when people like try to cover up dark circles where they put it on their face. So I do a line kind of like a triangle like this, and then I dab it in. And this brush has been made so that it's not going to pull or like irritate this really thin skin underneath your eye, because this is the thinnest skin on our body. So this has been formulated and like made so that when we're doing this, it's not pulling and at our skin and creating more lines and wrinkles. So I'm dabbing or stippling it in this like triangle underneath my eye. Okay, so I did liquid foundation, then I did this guy. Then I would take the mineral cheek brush. This is actually called the powder foundation brush. I have to learn all of these new names for them. But it's kind of like a kabuki brush. It's a little bit more, I don't think dense is the word I'm looking for, but like more compact, like all of it's closer together. In our old mineral foundation brushes, it was a little bit wider and looser, at least the hairs were, but these ones are more together, so you're really getting a really good, like when you put it on, it's going to go where you want it to go. It's not like it's just going to kind of, some of it's going to fly off the brush. It's all going to be very concentrated. That's what I was looking for. So I would use this with my mineral foundation, and I would go in small circles again, kind of going outwards all over my face. All right. The next one I would use would be our all over brush, which is called, oh, it's the all over powder brush. I was right on that one. So this one is so fun. It's so big and fluffy and I love it. And so this could be used for setting your foundation. So you could use our translucent powder or you could use a pressed powder. I actually used the pressed powder today. And so I just went in there and big sweeping motions all over the face. This could also be used though for bronzer in large areas. So if like you are putting on bronzer and like put it on your chest and stuff, this would be a really good brush for that. Okay, so that was like the base. Now we're getting into contouring. And what's super exciting is that our new cheek brush does bronzing, like highlighting and blush all together. It's like a 3-in-1 brush. It's super cool. So this brush, I'm just gonna kind of go like this. Again, it's my brush. Do you see how there's a little indent right there? We will get back to that, okay? So check out the way it looks, the way it's shaped. All right. You can kind of see that it has an angle again, like the liquid foundation brush. So when you're doing bronzer with your cheek brush, put your thumb in that indent and move your fingers forward more to really squeeze the bristles together. You see how they're together? They're usually like this, but I went like that and squeezed the bristles together. This is how we're going to use this for bronzer, okay? You're going to tap into your bronzer and make sure to tap things off. Less is more. We can always add more if we start with too much. We got to start over. So with using it like this, we're going to put our bronzer right here. Fun fact, you should not put bronzer further than where your eyebrow ends. So for me, it's not very much, but you don't want to put it all the way in. That contouring, that like intense contouring is not in anymore. I actually just got trained by Luis Costco, Mary Kay's beauty, global beauty ambassador, about these brushes because he's the one who designed them. So he did a demonstration for all of us at a big conference that we had. And he said that like contouring is not in anymore. So he was telling us how to do contouring correctly. And so he said to go in as far as the end of your eyebrow, and then you can also go up on your forehead. So we're doing this with bronzer, squeezing the bristles a little bit, right? Okay. So then I would take my blush and I would just use the flat part of this brush like I would a normal brush. I would take it like this and then I would put on my blush. Nothing fancy about how to do that. But do you see how there's this tip right here? It goes up. So this part right here is what we're going to use for the highlighter. So what I did today was I actually took this into an eyeshadow and I just went like this. I just tapped it very lightly into an eyeshadow so that it was just right there around the rim. And I took it and I just went like this, right over the blush, kind of on top of it a little bit so that it accentuates the cheekbones more. So this brush did bronzer, blush, and a highlighter all in one. Yes, please. The next one, oh my goodness, you guys, I forgot the next one. The next one is our eye. Did I forget it? Hold on. I did. That's okay. I'm not going to get up. I'm going to show it to you in my little book that I have. Okay. So we have a brush that has two ends to it. One of them is like the eyebrow combing brush, and the other one is a flat angled brush that's really small. So this would be for your eyebrow or your eyeliner. So I used the comb part to comb up my eyebrows and like get them all looking good. And then I used an eyebrow pencil. Some people prefer eyeshadow rather than an eyebrow pencil. And so you could use the other end of this with the small little angled to apply the eyeshadow on your eyebrow. So I'm sorry, I forgot that one. But I really do like this one. So that's what I did next. And then I did my eyes. So I put on a cream eyeshadow first. I just used my finger. But like I said, this brush that I used for my concealer, you could also use this brush for a cream eyeshadow. However, don't use the same brush for both. get one brush that's a concealer and one brush that's cream eyeshadow. That way you're not mixing and putting things where they shouldn't be. We do not want you to have like shimmery eyeshadow on your face. Okay, so I put on our Beach Blonde cream eyeshadow. It's kind of like a champagne color as my base. And then I used our Moroccan Dunes eyeshadow palette. This was a limited edition palette from about a year ago. But I wanted to show you which brushes and what colors I used. So the first brush I took was our Crease Brush. It looks like this. It's a little bit different than our normal crease brush, but what I love about it is that it's the perfect angle to fit right here. This is called your mid-tone, and this is where I put this color right here, this like light brown. I went like this, tapped it off, and then I went right here, all the way around in like a windshield wiper motion. That's called the mid-tone. You usually want to take like a matte color. Sometimes they can be shimmery. This one has a little bit of a shimmer to it. And that's going to help to really kind of like push your brow bone back and make your eyes look bigger. Okay, so you take that, and we're doing it in the mid-tone, right? So I did this first before I did anything else, right? Then I took our all-over eye color brush into this light one, this like gold one, and I just tapped it right here. The new way to make your eyes really like sparkle and shine is to tap a light, kind of like iridescent shimmery color right over where your iris is. So right in the smack dab in the middle of the lid, and you would tap it there. And it's gonna, I mean, you guys can see it right now in my eyes. It's bringing out the middle of my eyes more. So I did that next. Then I went back to our crease brush and I went into the darkest color. And then I just kind of fanned it out over here like this. Ta-da-da. Perfect, right? And then I can kind of diffuse the color a little bit more by going in circles, but it's a little bit darker here in the corners. And I use the crease brush. Then I put on deep brown eyeliner and I smudged it with our Smudger Brush. So the Smudger Brush could be used for eyeshadow or eyeliner. So I put on my eyeliner and then I went in and I went back in short little strokes to go like this. And then while there was still some product on there, because it obviously picked up some of the eyeliner, I went underneath my eye and just went along the lash line down there. So I don't actually have eyeliner on underneath my eyes. I just used our eyeshadow. Now let's say that you don't like eyeliner. You could use an eyeshadow using the Smudger Brush to go with it. So I could use this dark color of the Moroccan Dunes and go in and make eyeliner with this, which is really fun. So that's what I did with the Smudger Brush. And then I put on Lash Primer, Ultimate Mascara, and on my lips I have Mauve Moment and Silver Moon Lip Gloss. So I just wanted to give you guys kind of a little rundown of how to use these brushes. Now I have full confidence that you'll be able to know how to do them because our lookbook has instructions. So look at this. Like it literally goes through how you should use all of these brushes. But in case you wanted to see them on somebody and see like a finished product, you could. But make sure to also look at your lookbook too if you need any other hints. I also love the new looks that they have in there, so try out one of those looks too. But hopefully you feel more confident and excited about our new brush set and how to use them.